Yeah, okay, you
Okay.
can start.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Vivian Watchku. I'm here with my team members, Roy, Serena, Abidja, Naina, Predina, and Pivina. We are here to discuss about Air Canada, the micro and the macro environment of Air Canada. Introduction to Air Canada. Air Canada is the largest airline, provided passengers and cargo service to over 100 and over 220 destinations worldwide, renowned for its virtual and customer service. Its key players in global aviation. It was founded in 1937 in 1937. So the microenvironment, Air Canada operations are affected by external factors such as global economic conditions, regulators, policy, fuel price, and geographic stabilities. The micro it performs is shaped by internal factors like fleet management, customer satisfaction, and partnership. We have 5 cases that we're going to discuss by me and my colleague, but I have to talk about the SWOT analysis. But first of all, I have to go to the business strategies. The fleet mobilization continues adopting new fuel extinct aircraft, sustaining aviation technology, market expansion, increasing the presence in an emerging market to capture a growth demand, sustainable leadership, committing to the net zero ambition by 2050, investing in sustainable fuel and reporting progress transparency, customers experience, enhancing in flight and expanding the premium economic and business class offers and invest in digital transformation from seamless customer intention. So now I have to talk about the strengths. I have to talk about the different strategy. The premium service focused on the business class and sitting and executive airline lodge. Global loyalty in program, a claiming airplane program for customers extension. Global connective and is expensive in the network through star areas and membership. In innovation, continuous improving in service and technology. So I have to go to the next slide to talk about the strengths. A strong foundation, the the marketing leadership, leading airline with a well-recognized brand, expensive network span over 220 destinations globally, founding members of the Star Alliance, enhancing the cooperative partnership. The modern fit incorporating fuel effective in aircraft like the Boeing 787 Dreamline, reducing the operational costs while providing enhanced passengers. Commitment, okay, the commitment in the passengers world. I have to talk about the weakness, the weakness. Okay, the weakness navigating in just challenges, a high operative cost, fixing expensive including labors and fueling probability, the pandemic recovery, COVID-19 specified disrupt operation leading to revenue losses and operational effectively, recovering remaining a challenge due to the change in the travelling pattern. The opportunities, the capitalizing on the growth, the global expansion, increase in demand for intercontinental and domestic travel provided opportunity to expand the routes. The net zero goals, Air Canada sustained visions include zero carbon emissions by 2050, strengthening its industry's position, customer strength, raising the demand for premium traveling experiences and loyalty program, presenting the revenue growth potential. The trends, addressing the external risk, the political and economic uncertainty, global infections, geographic instabilities, and economic downturn can reduce the traveling demand. The price competitions, low cost carriers and international airline, and free price pressures in key market, digital security, the cyber cafe risk to digital performance customer service, building the areas and the growth, building the revenue stream. Partnership with hospitalities with traveling provide to offend boarding package. Example, the flight, hotels, and the car rental. Focusing on digital transformations, utilizing the AI for operating effectively personalized service, targeting the market complaint, strengthen the employees' engagements, providing the careers achievement, witness, and the bonus of qualities. The key taking home, the strengths and opportunities. Position Air Canada as a leader in aviation to potential for growth, addressing the weakness and the trends through the cost management, digital innovation and stabilities, and intensively embracing customer centricity and strategy to enhance long-term success. In this point, I have to end up and call up my next colleague to continue to from where I stop. Thank you.
Okay. Hi everyone. I will be presenting an analysis of Air Canada stakeholders. Air Canada operates with multiple stakeholders, each with varying levels of influence and interest. These stakeholders include internal groups such as employees and executives, and external ones like customers, regulatory bodies, competitors. Now I am going to explain stakeholders with the help of stakeholder matrix. The stakeholder matrix is categorized based on two factors: the power to influence the company's decision and the interest in its operations. The first group is the key players. These are stakeholders who have a lot of power and are deeply interested in Air Canada's success. First one is the board of directors. They make big decisions like approving new international routes or sustainability program and ensure the company stays on the right track. Second one is the high level employees. They are executives like CEO or CFO. They're responsible for turning Air Canada's plan into action. For example, the CFO manages the budget for fleet expansion, and the CEO lead the innovation projects like upgrading digital services. Next is the shareholders. These are people and organizations that invest money into the company. They vote on key decisions such as partnership or mergers to ensure that investments are profitable. The second group is keep satisfied. These stakeholders have a lot of power, but they do not need constant updates because their interest in daily operation is lower. First one is the government and regulatory bodies. These groups like Transport Canada make sure Air Canada follows safety rules and regulations. For example, they monitor compliances with flight safety standards. Second is the unions. Unions negotiate on behalf of employees for better wages and working conditions. For instance, a dispute with pilot unions in the past have resulted in strikes and they lead to affecting operations. Then the media. Media can shape the Air Canada's reputation by reporting on the things like flight delays or environmental initiatives which impact public perception. Next is we have the keep informed group, stakeholders who care a lot about Air Canada but don't have much power to directly influence the company. First one is a customer. These are like business travelers or the families booking various vacations. They rely on Air Canada for reliable and affordable service. Their feedback is a key to improving service quality. Next is the critical suppliers. This includes companies like Boeing, which supplies aircraft, or Shell, which provide fuel. For example, if the supplier is late in delivering, it can delay Air Canada's plans or new routes. And then strategic partners or investors. Partners like Star Alliance members benefit from shared routes and revenue. And the investors, such as financial institutions, care about Air Canada's profitability and financial health. Then in this last one is the competitors. It's rival airlines like WestJet watch Air Canada's moves such as pricing strategy and adjust their own plans to COVID. Finally, we have the minimal effort group, stakeholders who have low power and low interest when they don't need much attention. But it's still important to monitor them occasionally. First one is the general public. They include people who live near the airport that they may be affected by noise or emissions. And then the low level employees. These are essential workers like customer service, ground staff, and flight attendants. While they play a key role in daily operation, their influence on big decision is limited. For example, their main concerns are job security and training opportunities. And this is my part, guys. Thank you. And now over to Selena for question analysis.
Yes, Naina and I will discuss the pastoral analysis part. For Air Canada, pastoral analysis helps Air Canada develop strategic plan to anticipate and respond to the external challenge factors. Let's start with the political factor. To begin with the political stability and relations, Canada had a stable political environment. However, international political events such as trade conflicts and it will be affect to the air travel and international routes as well. Then I will move to the government support. I will give you some example here. During COVID-19 situation, Air Canada was supported by the government aid package worth like 5.9 billion Canadian dollar to help stabilize the allies. However, it's too much reliance on the government support might be affect to the operational strategy. Another important political factor is foreign ownership restrictions. Under Canadian policy, foreign ownership of the Air Canada is capped only 25% of voting shares, which ensure that alienation, which ensure that ally national identity remain the same. I mean that, and after that, I give you some recommendation to address this leak. Canada should diversify its revenue stream to the reduce dependency on the government and explore some partnership that can increase financial flexibility, such as offering non-voting share to the foreign investor to boost the growth opportunity of the companies. And then we will move to the economics factor. Yeah, the first one here is like economic recessions. Economic list the On the economic recession, customer will spending the money on only to purchase a necessary thing, and their money that's spending on the travel will be dropped significantly. And then I move to the fuel price is the major operating cost of the airlines. Any fluctuation in global oil price directly affects Air Canada profitability. And moreover, currency exchange rate play a critical role as the company operate internationally, and change in the Canadian dollar value against the other currency can impact revenue. And the last one is the labor cost and wages inflation can affect Air Canada ability that to maintain the profitability. For the recommendation, Air Canada should implement flexible price strategy during the recession and invest further in the sustainable aviation fuel to reduce the reliance on the traditional fuel. Moreover, focusing on the operational efficiency through the technology update and immediate raising labor costs. And then I will move to the social factor. Let's start with the changing in of the customer behavior. As I mentioned, as I mentioned before, after COVID-19 situation, being a big change in the customer behavior. Travelers are more health concerned and more concerned about sustainable travel as well, with a strong demand of the biosecurity. Another key social factor is culture diversity. As an airline industry, the diverse passenger create a culture preference in food, service, and overall flight experience as well. The last one is demographics. There are a diverse range of the age of the passenger and need, like younger passenger prefer the advanced technology such as mobile application or self check-in option, while the older passenger may still prefer the traditional service. For the recommendation, Air Canada should expand its biosecurity measure and stable sustainability travel options as well. It should also concern about the culture and different age of group by offering the diverse infra service and marketing campaign engage with a different culture and age. And then Naina will discuss more about the technology there. Thank you.
Thank you, Selena. Hello, everyone. Now I'm going to discuss how Air Canada is navigating through more challenges, from embracing cutting edge technology to staying ahead of legal regulation and making sustainability their priority. Let's start with technology. Air Canada have invested in next generation aircrafts, planes which are designed to consume less fuel, emit less greenhouse gases, and fly for longer distances. The downside here is this technological advancement comes with hefty price tags. On the ground, Air Canada is all about digital transformation. Their mobile apps are like personal assistant, which provides seamless bookings, real-time updates, and their digital identification program, which they recently launched on 3rd December, provides faster boarding facilities. Air Canada is also incorporating AI to fine-tune their flight routes and maintenance schedule, which will make their operation more reliable and efficient. With all this innovation comes a challenge, that is cybersecurity. Air Canada has to protect their passengers' data because they are dealing with sensitive data, for example, their passengers' personal information and payment details, making them the prime target for cyber attacks. So Air Canada has to heavily invest to protect their consumers and protect for potential threats. Now talking about the next factor, which is the legal factor. Air Canada has to follow different rules because flying comes with plenty of them. First is the aviation safety regulation. Air Canada has to comply with global safety regulations set by Transport Canada because compliance of this such regulation is not is option here, because it failure to comply such regulations can lead to getting fine and also hamper the reputation of Air Canada. On the workforce side, employees of Air Canada are unionized, which means labor negotiation is very regular and routine in the operation of Air Canada. While this negotiation helps in the smooth functioning of the operations, there is a chance of disputes which will lead to turbulence in the airline operation, as well as affect the passengers' services. Then there is the growing demand of environmental regulations. For example, Canada's carbon tax rate, which is set to soar to 170 CAD per ton by 2030. Therefore, Air Canada is adopting green technologies such as SAF to sustain in the sustain their legal requirements. The positive impact here is that compliance of COVID-19 recovery policies, such as Selena mentioned, comes with benefits from government fundings and grants. However, on the negative sides, failure to follow such laws can also lead to getting fined. For example, Air Canada was fined $250,000 due to the operation of restricted airspace. Now, finally, talking about the big challenge in the aviation, which is the environmental footprint. Air Canada impact environment and natural resources due to their heavy dependence in the fuel, excessive use of land, water. In return, natural resources, change in the natural resources also affect the operation of Air Canada. For example, the wildfires during the summer 2023 affected the operation of Air Canada because it affected the quality, air quality, which led to flight delays and cancellation, which affected the revenue for Air Canada. And the Air Canada has to comply with strict regulations. As I mentioned, they are incorporating and investing in aircraft which emit less fuel, and they are also investing in carbon offset program and making less use of plastic. And Air Canada's cargo also adopts electronic airway bills, which helps to minimize papers. This is not only about the regulations. Consumers like you and me and passengers are also changing their demand into greener options. As Selena mentioned, the change in the consumer behavior due to the want to travel sustainably. Therefore, Air Canada is incorporating sustainability in their core mission by doing less, which is living less with their operation and doing more with their communities and with their customers and employees. All these factors suggest that technological factors, environmental, legal factors helps in operational efficiency. However, there is a threat of heavy investment and inability to meet the requirements of regulation. Now, to further discuss about the porters, I would like to hand over to Angel.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Anjan, and I am here to talk about Porter's fire analysis. And the reason why I have chosen this Porter's fire analysis is to do an in-depth analysis of Air Canada, how new threats, how some substitutes, and other some situations affect Air Canada. So I'm going to first talk about the threat of new entrants. The threat of new entrants is very potentially low because the airline industry is a capital intensive and highly regulated sector. It also makes that new entrants, it's very difficult for new entrants to come. And also there are particularly more barriers and opportunities which also blocks the entry of new entrants. First of all, the high capital requirements, which presents a significant issue for new entrants. For example, like a single aircraft, a Boeing 737 aircraft costs over $100 million. So this is without considering the miscellaneous cost and fuel cost. If we just calculate the other costs also, it will keep on increasing. Then second comes the regulatory challenges, which also creates a strong barrier. Air travel is one of the most regulated industries in the world, requiring compliance with strict safety standards. And also it requires proper pilot training, maintaining protocols, environmental guidance, and many other things also. So meeting these requirements takes time, expertise, and resources, which further discourages new players. But however, in spite of these challenges, there has been increased activity in niche markets like low-cost aircrafts like Flair Airlines, Lynx Airs are craving out space by targeting some underserved routes and offering low-cost services in a highly competitive field. So sometimes the customer tends to choose these kinds of flights instead of the heavily priced flights like Air Canada. Then also Air Canada magiculates its threat by leveraging its size and brand loyalty. Air Canada has introduced many programs like Aeroplane and its membership in the Star Alliance, which also create a strong customer retention system and reducing the likelihood of travelers which will switch to new competitors. Additionally, its economies of scale allow it to offer competitive pricing while maintaining profitability. Then next comes the bargaining power suppliers. And in case of Air Canada, the bargaining power of suppliers is pretty much high, especially in the airline industry. The dominance of few major suppliers significantly influences Air Canada's operations, such as aircraft manufacturing is controlled by mainly two primary players, Boeing and Airbus. These companies not only dictate the prices but also control production schedules, which means that airlines have limited flexibility. For example, delays in aircraft delivery or increased costs can affect Air Canada's operation and profitability, which causes a huge loss for Air Canada. Then another supplier is fuel suppliers. Fuel suppliers is another key group with substantial bargaining power. Fuel accounts like for 20 to 30% of Air Canada's operational costs. And price fluctuation due to geopolitical tension or supply chain issues can also heavily impact the airline's bottom line. Similarly, maintenance, repair, and overhaul services are some specialized things which come with high switching costs, which gives suppliers significant leverage over Air Canada. Even though despite these challenges, Air Canada has managed to employ some several strategies to tackle these challenges, such as it engages in long-term contracts with aircraft manufacturers to secure favorable pricing and predictable delivery timelines. Another thing is fuel hedging is another critical tool which Air Canada uses to stabilize costs and reduce exposure to price volatility. And furthermore, by diversifying its fleet and including fuel-efficient aircrafts like Airbus A220 and Boeing 787, Air Canada reduces its reliance on older and less efficient models, improving its operational reliances. Then the third force comes in bargaining powers of buyers. This is the final force which I'll be covering. And in the case of Air Canada, it's a little bit moderate because Air Canada serves diverse customer base, which includes travelers, business travelers, and cargo clients. Each group have different kinds of influence over Air Canada. In the case of leisure travelers, who often prioritize cost over loyalty, they wield significant powers. They are quick to switch to budget airlines or alternative modes of transport like rail or bus if the price is right. Second comes the business travelers. They demand reliability, premium services, and flexible options. While they are less price sensitive than leisure travels, they still compare value for money and service quality across airlines. Then comes the cargo clients, which is another yet important group. Their bargaining power is a bit limited due to lack of viable alternative for the time-sensitive shipments. Air Canada has employed several strategies to manage buyer power. They have introduced many loyalty programs like Aeroplane, which plays a critical role in retaining the customers. These programs reward frequent travelers with points and exclusive benefits and upgrades, which makes it likely less for them to switch to other airlines. However, it's important to note that the bias has increased in recent years due to technological advances. Like online travel platforms like Expedia and Google Flights enable travelers to compare prices and services instantly, giving them greater control over their purchasing decisions. Air Canada counters these kinds of threats by offering a bundle of deals like such as vacation packages and enhancing its online booking experience, which provide a seamless and attractive customer journey. And these are the three forces which I will be explaining, and rest my colleague Roy will be telling. Over to you,
Thank you,
Roy.
Anjal. Thank you, Anjal. Now I will look into the uh, two last forces in Photoswipe. So there are two last forces in Photoswipe includes the threat of substitutes and the competitive rivalry. So speaking about the threats of substitutes is a moderate but notable implication in Air Canada strategy. Rail and bus services such as Via Rail provide a friendly option for short distance travel. With growing concerns about carbon emissions, many consumers are turning to these alternatives for travel between cities like Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa, while rail services are more reliable and convenient. Another significant substitute comes in the form of virtual platforms. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the adoption of online meeting meeting technologies, reducing the needs of bus travel. Platforms like Zoom's, Microsoft Teams have enabled companies to conduct meetings, conferences, even client engagements remotely. This shift has had a lasting impact, particularly on short haul and corporate travel demands, segments that traditionally constituted a significant portion of Air Canada's revenue. To mitigate these risks, Air Canada has developed several innovative strategies. One key focus is enhancing its leisure traveling offerings by emphasizing unique travel experiences, such as curated vacation packages, exclusive partnership with tourist destinations, and premium services for families. Air Canada sets itself apart from a substitute like rail and bus. Moreover, the airline is actively investing in sustainable initiatives like incorporating sustainable aviation fuels and exploring aircraft technology. These moves not only attract eco-conscious travelers but also position Air Canada as a forward-thinking brand, making it more resilient against substitutes with environmental appeal. In short, Air Canada is actively countering this force by offering value, experience, and a substitute simply cannot replicate. Now, speaking about the last force, the competitive rivalry. Competitive rivalry in airline industry is one of the most significant challenges for Air Canada. The Canadian market, while dominated by few players, is highly competitive, with companies vying for market share through aggressive pricing and service differentiation. WestJet, Canada's most formidable competitor, WestJet holds 32% of market share and has developed a reputation for robust domestic and transatlantic presence. Its pricing strategy and focus on customer services make it tough competitor. Adding to this competition are ultra low cost carriers like Flair Airlines and Lynx Air. These airlines have disrupted the industry and offering fares as low as $29, attracting budget conscious travelers. Such pressures forces Air Canada to continuously refine its cost structure and find ways to maintain profitability, delivering superior services. Another airlines is Porter Airlines, which represents yet another competition. It focuses on premium short-haul travel, combined with convenient access to urban airport like Billy Bishop in Toronto, allows to capture a niche audience. This adds to the intense of rivalry as Porter's Airlines appeals to business and leisure travel who values conscience and comfort. And Air Canada addresses this fierce competition through multi-pronged strategy. First, it leverages premium differentiation. This includes business class offerings, lie flat seats, exclusive airport lounges, and superior in-flight entertainment systems. So this to sum up, these are the points related to Porter's five forces affecting Air Canada. So now I'm handing over to Pradeep for TBL analysis. Over to Pradeep.
Thank you, Roy. Now I'll discuss about TVL. Hello, everyone. I am Pradeep, and I'll give my presentations on how Air Canada embraces the TVL, a concept that defines how businesses measure success. This approach focuses on balancing three key pillars, that is three P's, which are people, planet, and profit. It's about moving beyond just financial performance and building a business that's socially responsible, environmentally sustainable, and economically strong. In next slide, I will first talk about how companies balancing people, planet, and profit. At first, we have to know about how TBL challenges traditional business metrics by adding two crucial elements, social responsibility and environmental stewardship. It represents how a company treats its employee, customer, and communities. Also, it represents how it minimizes its environmental impact and adopts sustainable practices. In addition to that, it also represents the ensuring financial success without compromising ethics and responsibility. Next slide, I'll talking about the triple bottom line framework and how Air Canada embraces them. Let's take a closer look at three P's. For people, Air Canada improves employee well-being, promotes inclusivity, and supports communities. For planet, Air Canada involves addressing environmental challenges like carbon emissions and resource conservation. For profit, Air Canada ensures financial growth while staying aligned with ethical practices. Air Canada has lightened these pillars into operations to create long-term value for all stakeholders. However, there are some challenges also. On the next slide, I will talk about how Air Canada integrating the 3 Ps, people, planet, and profit. Air Canada's commitment to the triple bottom line is evident in its strategic effort. The airlines invests in extensive training program, ensures professional growth opportunities, and fosters diversity and inclusion. This helps create a motivated and empowered workforce. Air Canada has adopted advanced technology to reduce fuel consumption and emissions, showing a clear commitment to environmental protection. The company also focuses on growing revenues and stakeholder value through innovative services and efficient operation, providing that profitability and sustainability can go hand in hand. On the next slide, I'll talk about Air Canada's commitment to sustainability. Some notable initiatives of airlines include that the airlines has set ambitious goals to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emission by 2050. Also, through the Air Canada Foundation, the company partners with charities to support unserved communities, particularly focusing on children's health and well-being. Apart from that, Air Canada emphasizes sustainability across its supply chain, ensuring responsible and ethical business practices. On the next slide, I will talk about environmental initiatives that taken by Air Canada in order to reduce carbon footprint. Air Canada leads to aviation industry with impactful environmental initiatives that will grow the company in the future. Air Canada has invested in fuel-efficient aircraft, reducing emissions significantly. The airlines is exploring and using sustainable aviation fuels to minimize its reliance on traditional fuels. By optimizing flight routes and ground operations, Air Canada cuts unnecessary emissions and improve overall efficiency. On the next slide, I'll talk about Air Canada's social impact, how it supports local communities. Air Canada's focus on people extends beyond its workforce to include customers and communities, supporting charities and local organizations that uplift vulnerable communities. Also encouraging employees to participate in community projects, fostering a culture of giving back. By creating an environment where every individual feels valued, respected, and empowered. On the next slide, I'll talk about the financial performance of Air Canada that is driving profitability. With sustainability and responsibility are important, financial success remains crucial for Air Canada's long-term goal. The airline generates over 9 billion in annual revenue, serving more than 90 million passengers every year. It diversifies its revenue through expanding routes, global partnerships, and loyalty program. Investments in advanced technology, improving operational efficiency, reducing cost while maximizing performance. On the next slide, I will talk about the triple bottom line framework and the Air Canada's how it connected with each other. After analyzing these all things, I came to know that Air Canada's adoption of triple bottom line framework reflects its dedication to building a sustainable future by balancing people, planet, and profit. At last, for our conclusion part, I will conclude by Air Canada's business analysis, strategic recommendation for Air Canada on the behalf of our team, and reflective analysis. For using these different frameworks such as SWOT, PESTEL, and Porter's 5 Forces and TVL, we discovered that Air Canada successfully navigates challenges such as high cost and competition by modernizing its fleet, embracing digital transformations, and prioritizing sustainability. Next, our focus on strategic recommendation for Air Canada moving forward. Air Canada should invest more in sustainable aviation fuels. Air Canada can offer more personalized experiences, building customer loyalty and enhancing satisfaction. And AI-powered predictive maintenance can help streamline operations, reduce cost, and improve reliability. On next slide, I'll be talking about reflective analysis. Our team have learned the importance of using multiple frameworks to develop a comprehensive strategy. This experience has taught us how businesses need to balance sustainability with profitability. In the future, when I and our team members plan to focus on strengthening skills in sustainability and stakeholder engagement to better advise companies on their strategic decision. Thank you for your attention. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you.